And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another day in the edition here of the OSC Elite Rising Star number 19, day 3. I'm of course just VIP with you. I'm joined by these amazing players and by the people in the chat as well. Welcome, one and all. Something a little bit different here. Welcome to the OSC Elite Rising Star. This is a tournament that does feature up-and-coming players. Again, this tournament is restricted as some of the top players that did achieve too many high accolades and achievements in offline tournaments and even in the OSC championships are ineligible. They're ineligible for this event. So players like MaxPax, Hero, Clem, Cure, for example, are not going to be competing in a tournament like this. Instead, it is again for the up-and-coming talent instead. Let's go. Let us go. As we have a plethora of matches here tonight, we did of course cover this event last week, and we will be covering it ideally on a weekly basis, as long as our schedule does permit, of course. It's been a busy schedule. You know, we were just live last night with GSL. It was what, like a 6-7 hour cast? It was crazy. It was a lot of StarCraft. I should also give a heads up as well that because last night's cast was so intense, my voice is very strained towards the end, so we're gonna be skipping out on the Water TV Monday tonight. Usually we do cover Water TV Mondays on Monday evening. That won't be the case, not this week. We're gonna be taking the evening off just so we can rest our voice and freshen up, man. Freshen up. For now we are going to be jumping into our first series of the broadcast. We have a PvP here between Rebellion and Art. Let's go. Jumping into our first matchup, jumping into the Old Republic. Rebellion, of course, being a Korean player that has been around the middle of the pack or lower end of things for quite some time. When I think of Rebellion, I think of Lunacy, I think of Stephen Curry, I think of Honmono, I think of 3 Point, I think of Percival, Genio, all these players. I mean, Percival recently has broken up into the upper echelons of the Korean scene, that is true, and we're looking to see if we can see something similar here out of our next Korean player, our Korean Protoss. So spawning in the top right hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the South Korean Protoss player, we have the Pink Protoss, representing among SC2 people, it is Rebellion. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Blue Protoss player, the Blue Protoss himself, the Polish Protoss, representing the Platinum Heroes, it is Art. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamma time. Predictions are open and place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we delve into our initial best of 3. For tonight's broadcast, or for this morning's broadcast, we do have 7 best of 3s available to use. So that's going to be a massive amount of matches. It's also one of the reasons why we decided to cool down when it comes to the Water TV broadcast this evening. I'm just going to calm things down, embrace the OSC broadcast, and then get as much rest as we can. But for those of you that maybe missed out on the GSL broadcast, I do recommend it. It was an amazing event of play. All 3 matches, of course, the semis and the grand finals. Amazing, it was beautiful. I do recommend it. Of course, the VODs will be available on YouTube and Twitch and other platforms in the upcoming days. As a reminder, we do have to wait 48 hours. We have to wait 48 hours, and then we can reveal that Soup VOD on other platforms. Until then, exclusive to Soup. For now, we are moving out. We have our initial 2-gate opener here on the high ground for Arts. Likewise, 2-gate opener out of Rebellion. So far, mirrored builds. Builds are mirrored. From here, we're looking for any kind of proxies, but no worker is sent out off towards neither worker veers off towards the left or right hand side. So there is no proxy being set up here. It's looking like a standard opener. We can go for earlier tech, like say an earlier Stargate or an earlier Twilight Council or an earlier Robo here. Otherwise, we could try to just jump into our expansions. As much rest as we can, namely none at all, but we haven't had time for anything but StarCraft. True. SLA Chrononaut, 120 stream streak. Oh my god. I've seen some pretty big streaks, not gonna lie. So Lensvard, I think has like 180 or something. It's crazy. Crazy watch streaks. We appreciate it, by the way. I know that unlike with other streams, like having a watch streak for the CranKy Ducklings broadcast is difficult just because we have our morning cast and we have our evening cast. Like we ideally, or we do traditionally focus on 2 different time zones. Like casting twice a day, so it's not easy to keep up, man. Impressive. Very impressive. The dedication, all the StarCraft. There we go. For now, we have our initial tech of choice. Both players are expanding, that is true, but both players work towards the Twilight Councils. Here you can see it's the Twilight Council after the expand. Meanwhile, we had an earlier council out of art. Outside of that, though, no major deviations. Working towards Link. And then into the mid game, and we might just slow things down. I know that in PvP we are all used to seeing just hyper aggressive games and really short matches between the top Protoss players, between like Showtime, Max, Classic, Hero, Zound. That is true, but when it comes to the other Protoss players, like it's typically a lot more slower. Referring to Rebellion, Art, Geralt, Christiana, Shameless even as well. I would say that all-ins are a little bit more rare from them, and we get to experience the mid game. But did I see you too soon? So if Rebellion set a great proxy, we do have some adepts orbiting across the map. Remember, 2 adepts, they can one-shot probes, so if they can get into a mineral line, they can wreak havoc. That is what is so difficult, or what can be so difficult about PvP, is that very quickly you can start losing workers and start falling behind, and everything can just get out of hand. Hallucination does get eyes on the adepts. So far, Art does keep up. We do threaten to shade into the mineral line, but there are units in position. Oh, he commits. Okay. He does commit into the natural. 1 adept goes down instantly. 1 probe does fall, and so far not worth it. Yeah, not worth it. 1 probe for 2 adepts. A better defense here for Art. So far, a better defense. Behind this Rebellion going in for a ninja expansion. Wait, what? Rebellion expanding here on the south side, south from his own 3rd. This is a very rarely taken base as a 3rd location. Checking Art's vision, he has not seen this, and it's very high risk, high reward. The base is very isolated, very isolated from your other expansions, so it can be abused that much easier. But at the same time, because it is off by the wayside here, there's a chance that maybe Art doesn't scout and misreads this. He's coming with hallucination. He confirms there's still no 3rd expansion. He's taking his own, and this will prompt Art to be more defensive, because he's going to be scared, of course, of a 2-base all-in. He's going to be scared of 2-base play. Meanwhile, Rebellion has a 3rd base that's on par. Oh, nice. Never mind. Does see, does scout, does confirm. Art is now fully aware of the location of the 3rd, and now Art can start to apply some pressure here. Hallucination also scouts the 3rd base of Art. Both players are aware. Immortals popped out. Are we going for the Prism follow? We are. So with the War Prism, we can start to reinforce. So this is the first sign of a major push here from Art. I'm waiting for that War Prism. As Rebellion is going to be the first to push. I do like this. Rebellion knows he's been scouted, he knows his 3rd base is more exposed, so applying pressure here to keep Art busy does make sense. But don't push off the ramp. Ooh, what's over here sound? Losing 1, blinking forward, catching out the sentries as well. Yeah, some rough losses here. Rebellion losing out the sentries, losing out the Stalkers. Another very nice force field, but Rebellion does pull away. As he pulls away, it upsatiated. A nice counter-attack here by Rebellion. He may have lost some gateway units here, but he does get into the mineral line, does nice some mining, and that's going to be 5 probes going down. Very nice. 5, 6 probe kills. Shades into the main base, is denied. Oh, no, the Immortal. Yeah, the Immortal almost caught out. It does drop in time. Nice juggling. Preserves the Immortal a little bit longer. The boys are being pulled, and Art he commits. He commits across the map. Art has a massive army to work with. The probes are buffering. And Art can break through. Yeah, looks like he will. Yeah, Art he will break through in the end. So on the one hand, yes, Art he may have lost a bunch of workers, but it does not matter because Art he breaks the expansion, takes down 11 probes, takes down the pylon, and can keep pushing. Yeah, Art he can just keep on pushing. Blink is available. Immortal's real. Blinks on the Immortal. Does dive in. Takes down the Immortal. And with that, Art he snowballs out of control. GG, well played. And Art he will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, a very similar game from our 2 players here when it comes to their openers, when it comes to their builds. But as we mentioned, Rebellion did choose to go for a much more exposed base. It's a little more open, it's further forward, it's easier to engage, and Yeah, it was a bold move there by Rebellion. Artie scouted quite quickly, and he was able to push out, able to break out, able to break that expansion. Again, there were no safety batteries, a longer rush distance by ground to reinforce a location. Yeah, it was just a little bit more difficult to defend. GG, well played. It also didn't help that, if you recall, Rebellion did bleed out some units early on, his sentries and his stalkers, when he was being active on the map. So, but out units, and everything just couldn't snowball out of control. GG, well played. With that, we're going to be getting into game number 2, and we'll see if Rebellion can bring it back as we are loading into Winter Madness. This time a much larger map. Because it's so large in PvP, we expect more proxies. They're a little bit more effective here on this map, as it is much more difficult to scout, but we'll see. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the pink Protoss player, the pink Protoss himself. Oh, down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. It is Rebellion. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Polish Protoss player, the red Protoss representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Art, leading the series 1-0. Let's go. Let us go. We are going to be leading the series here. Going to be opening up, and we'll see if we do decide to hide any tech out on the map. As we mentioned before, Winter Madness is a larger map of the map pool. That is true. Longer rush distance by ground, so we often get longer and larger games in other matchups, but specifically for PvP, a matchup that's known for proxies, one base all-ins, and cheese. I mean, there's a lot of places to proxy pylon. Set up a robo, a stargate, a fake pylon, a real pylon, a Twilight Council. We'll see. So now we have our 2-gate opener. Only now moving out with the probes. Rebellion, he does veer off towards right hand side, so again, looking to hide his pylon. Yeah, we'll let his pylon. This location would not be bad for a proxy Stargate, or it could just be a fake out. And based on this position, oh, okay, no, you can't fit a building here. Okay. That's the Rebellion. Probe moves in, and he will see on who will confirm that a pylon is missing. Right, we're counting pylons here. There's one in the main base. It should be a second pylon. He does a recheck behind the main, further in. And Archie's now aware that something is wrong. Cybercore is done. And we abandon the pylon. Okay, never mind. It is a fake out. It is going to be a fake out here. Rebellion does escape. Alright, he will scout it. No shot. Alright, he goes immediately to... Oh no! Jeez, that was so close. That was so close. And he does end up scouting the pylon. He does find it. He does confirm that it is a fake proxy pylon. There's no robo, no stargate, no nothing here in position. And I can just chill. I can just expand. Rebellion takes a natural. Alright, not too far behind. He's pushing. He's moving out. Yep, there's the expansion. Trying to be active. And he does come across the adepts. Does come across. And we're going for a robo opener. Okay, that's a little bit different here. Now, typically the early robo means we're going to be more defensive. It means that Rebellion will have access to early immortal production. We'll keep an immortal lead, of course. And this can lead into glaive adepts, into hyper-aggressive mid-game instead, going for a borderline all-in. So we'll keep an eye on Rebellion. And the reason why you would go into glaives from here is because Blink Stalkers and your Gateway army is going to be very delayed, right? It's going to be delayed Blink, delayed charge, delayed everything. So a lot of players just go straight into glaives, kind of skip all of that because they're going to be late anyway, and then they just commit with Glaive Adepts and Mass Immortal. But we'll see. Before the Mass Immortals play, we can go for an earlier War Prism to apply some pressure to harass. At the same time, RT goes for his own Twilight Council, early Blink, throws in extra gateways, and is moving out to break down the pylon. Let's move out. Pylon will fall. It is going to be the earlier War Prism. So with that, Rebellion can try to warp into depths and drop into the main. Go for the drops. In PvP, it can be difficult to get a Adept Harass just because players are so good at just keeping up with their wall-offs, having units in position, throwing down the pylon, and walling off the ramp. That's why the War Prism opener can be more effective, as you can just bypass that. Oh, actually, we're going for the Sentry drop. Okay. Oh. RT, I mean, he's still here outside on the map, so Rebellion has to thread the needle. It does find him. Yeah, it does find him. Will intercept. Sentries, they are forced to spend a couple of force fields here as they attempt to chase down the Stalker. He's getting caught down. Yeah, he's coming from behind. Alright, he's coming from behind. The Stalker will go down. And Rebellion has to back off. There's a recall. There's a recall back home. Behind this, as we mentioned previously here, we do have a Glaives on the way. Glaive Adepts. Again, this is very standard after a Robo opener. That's why we brought it up earlier. Gateway Explosion, 2 base all in at a Rebellion, but before that happens, Artie's already here. And Artie has arrived. Gaining high ground vision, diving into the main, out positioning Rebellion, and even looking to depower the Twilight Council. No! Does depower, a massive pickoff. Pylon goes down. And Rebellion, he is in trouble here. As he tries to respond, there's Rico back home. Does recall back. Again, maintaining his army. Rebellion likewise moving out. And Rebellion's all in. Remember, he's just all in at this point. Able to catch up her Stalker. Ideally, he wants the Sentries. Ooh, force the wing away. He needs to respect the Immortals. But already slowing this down. Oh. Just catching its depth. He's swinging away. Does pull away, does set up everything. So this battery says his Immortals. Disruptor production has begun. That's going to be ideal. And Rebellion is going to commit. He's going to shade. And it looks like he will. Oh, not quite. Does cancel. Does cancel the shade. Now, the scary thing about Disruptors, specifically in this kind of position here, and again, also good call by Art, is because Novas, I mean, how do you dodge them here? Typically, Blink Stalkers have a better time avoiding and dodging Novas. Glaive Adepts are less mobile in that sense. So it's an army that's a little more vulnerable here to Disruptors. Prism is turned away. Crouching the main army, never goes up, and it's just gonna, oh my god! Massive connection. Sentries go down, the Adepts go down, that's a kill on the Nexus. Nice pick off that by Rebellion, but it may not matter. It may not matter here. As we commit into the bases, into the army. Prism is turned away, Immortals exposed, Show Stand over. It's almost ready. It goes off. Oh, ooh, and there we go. 4 Adepts going down. GG gets called, and RT will claim the series 2-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played. RT will claim the series. Again, Rebellion, he went for a bit of a cheekier build this time in game 2, but he got scouted. He got scouted, he got found out in regards to the proxy pylon. Also, Art could just be more active and more aggressive. We had Rebellion turning that into a 2-base all-in, but once again, RT was able to delay and able to confirm the fact that there was no 3rd base, and that, of course, Rebellion was committing on a 2-base economy. With that, he was able to get into Disruptors and have a very solid defense. GG. GG well played. RT did have a very solid defense here. And again, Rebellion did gamble quite a bit in both game 1 and game 2, and wasn't able to get away with it. Game 2 here, going for the fake outs and then going for the all-in. Game 1, if you recall, going for the ninja base, going for the quirky third location, also getting punished. GG. GG, well played. With that, Art will claim the series, and that leads us into our next mirror matchup. Oh, I just realized we have got a bunch of mirror matchups here. Curious to see how this plays out. Up next, we have a TVT between Honmono and BabyMarine. Oh boy, I feel like on the one hand, I want to say that BabyMarine's more favored in a longer game. That is true, but I mean, we're not. We might get a longer game here. Like when it comes to the matches themselves, Honmono, he's an animal. He's an absolute animal. He's animal, man. But in TVT, he can't play standard. He can't play standard. He can't play straight up. He has it in him. As spawning in the top right hand corner of Beckett Industries. Oh my, it has been years since I've casted on Beckett Industries, and we're going for the proxy 2-racks. We have the South Green Terran player. We have the Red Terran for Team Hyper 1. It is Honmono. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have the Italian Terran player. We have the Blue Terran representing Streamer Zone. It is BabyMarine. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open and place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we delve into our TVT with our initial proxy. Now, for those of you that weren't around to Beckett Industries, was this in the map pool in 2020? It was around the 2020 era of StarCraft at the time, and I don't know if we've had a smaller map since, but it has a very short rush distance, an insanely short rush distance, naturally already a short rush distance, and then the speed zone speed things up even faster as well. So aggression is heavily favored here on this map. The choke points do help when it comes to trying to turtle up and trying to be defensive, but in general, a lot of all-ins were prevalent on Beckett Industries back in the day. I want to say Beckett Industries was in the map pool before Submarine, I think. I think Submarine was after Beckett Industries. That was like the other like rush map. But here we have our proxy 2-racks Reaper here in the natural base of BabyMarine. BabyMarine so far is unaware. Double gas opener. Thankfully, is going double gas into a faster factory. Faster factory, faster Hellion production. BabyMarine is going for a very safe build. And because it's so safe, I mean, we'll see if he can shut it down. Oh wait, what? We're going proxy Marine? What's the gas for? He's only got 2 in gas, so it looks like a fake out more than anything. Yeah, Marines are amassing, park on the low grounds. We do poke up the ramp. Catching at the initial SCV, not bad. Yeah, it does force a cancel. Second SCV goes down. So 2 SCV kills. Marines, they keep amassing, and hey, we're gaining ground. We are getting ground as long as that. Oh, factory doesn't finish. Oh my god. Another SCV falls. A massive delay in the factory. Marines, they come back. 1 Marine did fall to the SCVs. Oh. And once again, the Marines, they set up on the high ground. The factory should not finish, and doesn't. And once again, another pickoff. Was a little bit delayed though. Boys are being pulled. More SCVs going down. This is getting out of hand here. Losing up to 8 SCVs. 9 SCVs going down, but now there are 2 Reapers. And now there are 2 Reapers, and alas, BabyMarine should hold. Oh, that was an eBay. I thought it was a bunker. Last BabyMarine, he should be able to hold on. Saves the depot. May lose another SCV. It does pull away. Oh, breaks down the depot though. Depot still falls. Reapers are moving back across the map. Back over, there's nothing to defend. There's 1 Hellion on the way. But Honmono, he needs more time. Reapers, they bust in. Boys are being pulled. They don't quite get this around. And not quite. Almost. At the same time, Marines are being dealt with. They're keeping the Hellion busy. Keep him busy. It's from here that us is going to be settling. We're going to be expanding. So far it was 14 SCV kills. BabyMarine is down to BabyMarine is down to 10 workers. Oh my god. I didn't realize just how many he had lost. I was thinking up to 10, but no, so much more than that. So 14 kills, 14 SCV kills alongside the depot as well. Back at home, Honmono, he has a superior economy, and he survived until his 1-1-1 setup here into Hellions. So Hellions are amassing. Does have the repair. Pulls back to the mineral line. Does pull back, sets up his wall. That's a massive eBay wall, by the way. What the hell? I mean, hey, it'll stop the Hellions. True. Oof. The Hellions will be stopped. Homeowner is holding. From here, he can go for his drop. Medevac is out. Now, BabyMarine, he's the first to expand. That is true. But CC is actually left idle. Yeah, massive delay here as I don't think BabyMarine quite noticed what was going on, but he has no money. Zerax is buying time here in the main. Still no production on the CC. BabyMarine, he doesn't notice. Por favor. Start building the CC. As Homeowner's not taking a worker lead or a base lead. Yeah, Homeowner's jumping into the main. There is a Cyclone to defend, and a hand-on fights I do favor BabyMarine, but the Cyclone is still in the main. Still holding off in the main base. Oh, Medevac is going to be deflected. And BabyMarine is holding, at the same time going for his own counterattack. That's a lot of Reapers. That's a massive amount of Reapers here for BabyMarine. Meanwhile, we're going for a double expand. A third CC is already on the way for Mono. That's very greedy. The greed. Reapers, they try to move in. Try to move in. The Viking does help defend. Catching on some of the Reapers. At the same time, Homeowner pushing in towards the main. But there's that Cyclone. Now 2 Cyclones. Here for the Medevac. SCV's lining up. Ooh. Workers, they somewhat line up. He's switch towards the end here. One more volley. Oof. Catching in more SCVs, and we're down to 15 SCVs. Oh my god, that was another 5 workers going down, 19 kills in total. Nice damage out of Homeowner. And Homeowner is going to be the first to expand. Here's the first breakout, the first to expand. Behind this, we have tanks and banshees on the way, so Homeowner building a much more robust army. He's going to save these Cyclones. We have repairs. Oh, breaks a lock on. Nicely done. Oh, but the Cyclones are low. Yeah, Cyclones are low on HP. The tank has made it. And Homeowner, he defends. He defends. He's getting his natural base up and running. BabyMarine still knows. He canceled. Oh my god. Yeah, he canceled. He got the refund. And BabyMarine is all in. This one he's fully all in. He has no disables with the Raven. Bear that in mind. So no disable. We have a second tank on the way from Mono. There is an auto turret available that will help. He can help tank a shot. Oh, tries to move in. Does shoot first. Snipes the first tank. Very nice. Now let's catch a tank. Oh. Ooh, as Raven goes down. Yeah, trades Raven for a Cyclone. A better pick up here by Homeowner. Bearing in mind the Homeowner has the economy, so he can afford some of these trades. He can afford it. He drops into the main. Once again, trying to cash out a free tank, and looks like he will get the tank. Tank goes down. Will lose both Vikings. Oh god. We'll lose 2 Vikings. And again, it's like, oh, you got a tank. That's nice and all. That is true. But remember, there's no expansion. Like, remember, there's no natural base here for BabyMarine. Like, every unit counts. We'll bleed out 2 Vikings. BabyMarine rotating over. Homeowner, he is lacking a ground army, though. The homeowner is making SCVs. We need to stop making SCVs. Homeowner, he overmade workers. We need an army. That's tanks get within range. Get within range of the mineral line. And minimizing mining. Homeowner's built up a higher Viking count. Tries to break out once again, though he does get within range of the tanks. Oh, SL guns. They're broken. We're amassing our Marines. Stim is almost done. Like, this game feels closer than it should. It's just Homeowner was making so many workers earlier, which never really pay for themselves. Simmers revealed. Gets a Cyclone. Homeowner buying time. The boys being pulled, we commit. Oh my god, massive tank shots on the Marines. Yeah, Marines, they clumped up. A very messy fight here for Homeowner. Incredibly messy. He does hold. He holds in maybe one of the most difficult ways possible. Like, again, everything was clumped. There was no spread, no clean engage. Stills up an economy. And GG gets called. Homeowner, he does survive. He does hold on against the one base all in, and Homeowner takes game number 1. GG. GG well played. Not the cleanest game, is what I will say. Not the cleanest game, but regardless, does claim it in the end. Was able to pull off the proxy across the map, deal crippling damage, killed 19 SCVs. That is insane damage dealt in the early game. Killing 19 workers and forcing the one base all in. And again, of course, Homeowner, he did have enough at home to defend. Wasn't a clean defense, and it was looking a little bit shaky for a time there, but hey, he held on. Able to hold on, and here we go. Now we're going to be loading into our next game. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the red Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran representing Team Hyper 1. It is Homeowner. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner as he moves out across the map with the SCV. With 2 SCVs, it's his turn. We have the Italian Terran player, the blue Terran for Team Streamer Zone. It is BabyMarine. Hello. SCVs are being sent across the map. And the proxy Raxes are upon us. Okay, we're looking in. So yeah, we're proxy GgMax. From here, gases are being taken back at home, and I know that I was assuming proxy Reaper out of Homeowner in game 1, but here I'm assuming proxy Reaper here out of BabyMarine. Once again, we are nearer to the Reaper cliff to push in towards the main base. Meanwhile, Homeowner, he is going for a single gas opener. So this is an economic start out of Homeowner, going for a Rax expand. This is ideal for BabyMarine. The stars are aligning. Stars are aligning. SCV moves in. There's that low ground CC for Homeowner. This is ideal for BabyMarine. Ooh, Tech Lab first? Oh my god, okay. Early Tech Lab out of Homeowner into early Marauder production. This means he won't have an early Reaper to defend, by the way. So there's going to be a window in time where he won't have any units, where the Reapers could try to wreak havoc in the mineral line. We'll see when BabyMarine does decide to commit it. Remember, he did see the tech lab as well. There we go, bunkers on the way. Boys are being pulled. First SCV will go down. Gets one. Gets one SCV. You can see Homeowner trying to get on top of that SCV, trying to deny the bunker. Marauder to swap out. Bunker is denied. And with the help of the Marauder, I'll be honest, Homeowner, he can start to focus on these Reapers. He has the range. He's trying to keep up. SCV is going to go down. Delays the CC. Does delay the command center. Now building up to 2. Soon to be 3 Marauders. Oh, gets one. Gets one Reaper. So far, a good pickoff. BabyMarine, he's not stopping. Behind this, he's going for his factories. He's starting his transition. Does begin his factory. At this point, I don't think the Reapers can fight head-on, not against the Marauders, so the best we can hope for here is to bypass the Marauders instead. Especially with the high ground advantage. As BabyMarine, he might start to get desperate behind this going, wait, double factory? Oh my god, okay. A double factory follow-up. That I was not quite expecting, going double factory into Tech Labs, into, I would imagine, Mass Cyclone. I would imagine. BabyMarine looking to make it up. As he does go for the dive, gets one. One Marauder goes down. He's going to be trading. As he bleeds out more Reapers, there we go. He gets the second Marauder. And we'll get a third Marauder here. In the end, though, we'll lose every single Reaper. Oof. Cyclone does the fan. Back at her, we have Macfield accelerators. Again, looks like we are going into Battle Mech, into Mass Cyclone at least. But GG. Yeah, GG gets called. I mean, BabyMarine, he lost everything. We have the natural base full, or getting fully operational, and BabyMarine taps out. GG. GG. Yeah, an ambitious move there from BabyMarine going and committing to the proxy, but alas, again, for Homeowner to open up with Marauders, there was a smaller window of time, or there was a window of time where damage could be done. Killed one SCV. Killed one SCV in the end. The Marauders, they held their own, allowing Homeowner to expand, to build up to breakouts, and to claim the series. GG. GG, well played. Homeowner, he will claim the series 2-0 and shut down BabyMarine. He's like, yo, you want to cheese Homeowner? Like, it's Homeowner, papi. Yeah. GG, well played with that. Homeowner, he will claim the series, who will knock BabyMarine down into the lower brackets, and we have our next mirror matchup. Non-stop mirror, hold on, non-stop mirror matchups here tonight. Jesus. Okay, I'm looking, and there's more mirror matchups to come, I'll be honest. Oh my god. No ZVZs, as there aren't that many Zurich players in the events, but regardless, we're getting into our next matchup here. It's going to be another PvP, Shameless versus Jumy. Ooh, it's a bit of a shame that these two players face off this early on in the brackets. Two very strong Protoss players here in the OSC. We expect them both to go far, but they're facing off here this early on already. Let's go. Game 1 is going to be on 10,000 feet. Homeowner didn't win a game by being an animal. Did I move to another universe? I mean, kind of. Like, he was an animal in game 1. It's game 2 where his opponent, he got down in the mud with him. What an animal. Here we go. We're getting into the next game. We're getting into 10,000 feet and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of 10,000 feet. We have our German Protoss player. We have our green Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Jumy. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss himself, representing his new team, Stanley Balls. It is a Shameless. And if you're in the chat, it is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Now, coming into this PvP, Shameless is the favorite player. He is the reigning champion of the previous OSC Elite Rising Star tournament. So Shameless, he is one of the favorite players to make a deep run, if not even win the tournaments once again. Meanwhile, Jumy is one of those few players that can threaten Shameless, for sure. Especially in PvP. Like, Jumy can be very aggressive, very intense, very dynamic. Oh, and here we go. Here we go. Am I missing some context? Am I... Am I missing context out here? So now, we have 2 gate. 2 gate opener out of Jumy, 2 gate opener out of a Shameless. Let's go. So now we are moving in. From here we have our standard openers. No proxy yet. Jumy does come in for a scout. Are they referring to the GLHF? Is that? It's illegal, baby. True, true. Illegal. Either that or there was a conversation earlier, which I don't fully understand. But sure. Here we go. Here we go. For now, we have our initial depths. We have double adept opening here by Jumy. Likewise, a double stalker out of our Shameless. Oh, God, never mind. Oh, no. Not like this. I feel like this is a self-report. If we know anything about Jumy, not gonna lie, Este Jumy. He's also an animal. He's Jumy's not quite on the level of Homono, but he's an animal in his own way. 100%. Este Jumy. Oh. Okay, looks like there was a bit of a pause. For now, though, we do have Shameless taking his natural base, likewise Jumy looking to take his own as well. No proxies, no shenanigans here. As Jumy does come in from behind, avoiding the stalkers. Does avoid Shameless sequence across the map. Jumy looking for economic damage, but Shameless is in position. He's ready. Ooh, does not block in time. Oh, Jumy gets in. Jumy gets in. Probe's going to be going down at the same time. Shameless gets across the map. Knocks down the battery. That's going to be so much damage, though. That's what, 4 or 5 probes? 6? Yeah, 6. 6 probes go down. A critical damage being dealt early on. At the same time, Shameless does kill the steel battery, but there are sentries that defend. We have hallucinations. He hallucinates. Yeah, we do focus fight the sentries. Hallucinations, they tank some volleys, not bad. They tank some shots. And there is some counter damage going on here at least, but I mean, this pales in comparison to the economic damage that Shameless had sustained. As he does get one real stalker. Go for the sentry. Stalker goes down, Shameless pulls away. Does back off, does pull away behind this, get into his own prism, looking to push across the map. The early robo does tell us here that Shameless wants to push, wants to be aggressive. I mean, hey, Shameless is behind economically, he needs to. Jumy back at home, it's all about surviving. We have the Twilight Council on the way into Blink, into a third gateway. Jumy, he does have one battery on the low ground, but he does not know the build of choice. He does not know how aggressive Shameless is being. Shameless, he commits. Jumy's in the dark. Setting up his own pylon. And remember, this is pre-blink. Force fields can and will lock Jumy down. Their force fields, they dominate. Speaking of, ooh, catching up 3 stalkers. No, yeah, 3 stalkers, 8 chords. 1, 2, 3 stalkers will fall. We have the battery helping out within range of one of them at least. As you look down, another 2 stalkers. Again, the voids are pulled. 12 probes go down, and Shameless is on it. Shameless is on it. He will lose the prism, but it does not matter. Breaks through the main army, and GG gets called. GG gets called. Shameless, he takes game number 1. GG. Whew, GG well played. Again, Jumy had a good start. He had a better start at catching out 6 probes at the beginning of the game. That was a very strong start for Jumy. That should not have happened. But at the same time, Shane was just turned into a 2-base all-in. He just built up into a 2-base all-in, and Jumy didn't see it coming. If he did, we would have seen defensive sentries. We would have seen defensive additional batteries as well. That would have been a big advantage here if he was able to set up his batteries more than just the one, and to be able to hold on by enough time for his own blink play to kick in. GG though. GG well played. Shameless had no idea. Sorry, Jumy had no idea. Didn't see what was going on, and with that, we're now getting the game número 2. As spawning in the bottom hand corner of Celestial Enclave, we have the green Protoss player. We have the German Protoss down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back and make a series out of this. It is Jumy. And spawning in the right hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player. The blue Protoss player himself representing Stowny Balls. It is Shameless. Let's go. Let's go. As Jumy moves out very quickly across the map. Goes for a much earlier scout. Oh, I was like, he's going for an early scout. No. He's going for the early cannon rush. Forge is on the way. Didn't see the chat. Let the devolution revolution begin. Yes. As Jumy's coming in with the cannon rush, and Shameless so far has no idea. Oh boy, Shameless going for his own proxy. No, sorry, he's going for his own scout. Getting into the pocket expansion. Remember, there's a worker path directly into the bases. A little bit misplaced initially. Okay, scouts. Scout does confirm. Cannons are on the way. I believe this cannon is within range of the gas geyser. Proxying inside of the natural. Ooh. As Jumy, he does gain high ground vision. Does get his pylon on the high grounds. If that does finish, we can start cannons behind the mineral line. Jumy pulls away his probe. Cannon does finish. Oh no. Yeah, cannons is complete, and Jumy's going in. He wants the cannons, and he's getting them. He gets them up and running here. He takes over the mineral line, and that's going to be game. Oh no, Zealot has arrived. But I believe the cannon should allow for at least one of these to finish. So let's spray the balloon. And if these cannons complete, I mean, that's it. Like, that is the win condition here. Zealot is distracted. Probes move in to deal with the opposing workers. One cannon is denied, just barely. There's a cancellation, but the other should finish. Okay, the other will complete. Ooh, it does fall. Okay. Oh, what about the third cannon, though? The third cannon. Ah, it finishes. Yeah, it does complete. More damage here. Ooh, takes down the Zealot as well. Zealot does fall. Zero mining going on here for Shameless. Now going back in. Oof. Yeah, he cannot mine. He cannot mine. As more cannons are completing. Plenty of progression, plenty of HP. And there it is. GG. GG gets called. Jumy ties up the series 1-1. We're going to the ace match. Let's go. GG, well played. Jumy does have the series here. Again, pulling off the cannon rush and setting up behind the mineral line. Again, if you can get your cannons behind the mineral line of your opposing player, that's game. All right, that means just zero mining, zero economy. Cannot get the main base back up and running. GG. As Jumy was able to set up real fast and real quick in the main. And that leads us into the ace match. Oh my god, what were the voting for the map pool this season? We just spoke about Beckett Industries earlier. This is the other map, by the way. We actually brought this up by just happen chance earlier. Submarine. Also a hyper aggressive map. Here we go. Spawning. This was around, again, I can't remember. It was either Beckett Industries first and then Submarine, or the other way around. But spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Submarine, we have the green Protoss player. We have the German Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Jumy. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss himself representing Stowny Balls. It is Shameless. And Jumy's going for the proxy. Let's go. Let's go for the proxy. Welcome one and all to Submarine. Again, Submarine is one of the very old maps. I say very old maps. I mean, it's still technically in the modern era of StarCraft. Submarine was around during the EPT era, so I'm thinking 2020. as we're going for the proxy 2 gate. Back at home, no gases, so extra gateways. We're going for the flower, Mass Zealot. Mass Zealot here. Oh, sorry, I thought it was going to be a 3rd gateway, but no, it's going to be 2 gates with the forge for cannons. So it's another variation of cannon rush. It's a later cannon rush in a sense that it's a later forge, but we do have Mass Zealots on the way. Ooh, as Jumy does close the door. So because Jumy got the pylon down, that means that Jumy has control of the door. He can cancel at any time and get in at any time. So Jumy has control of the ramp. As he actually lets the pylon finish. Okay, that I was not expecting. I was let it finish. There we go, setting up cannons on low ground. I had to double check here. So Beckett Industries was around in 2021. There we go. Sorry, yeah, that's Beckett Industries. And the submarine was around in 2020. Okay, so it was submarine first and then Beckett Industries. Okay. That's it, 2020. For those that are wondering, the OSC tournaments, they do have an extended map pool where players vote on their maps. So players, they voted on both Submarine and Beckett Industries to make it through. And they did. As the gateway's under fire. Massive damage here. One Stalker does pop out, but just the one. As Zealots, they flooding in. No, we're pushing forward. The first pylon is still done. True, the first pylon is still alive. Depowers the gateway. One cannon goes down. Ooh, that's a kill. That's a kill on the cancel, and we do need another backup probe here. Probe is on the way. Probe is on the way. We just had one more worker here to keep the cannon rush going. That is Narches's pylon. Backup pylon just finished. And backup pylon did complete. This first pylon does overtax. Oh, does eat up so much energy though. So much energy. Getting to the backup pylon. There's 4 batteries on the way. The hell, they just stand and fight. Oh, they get surrounded. Nice round. Nice round of the Zealots. We have more Zealots trickling in. Stalker will survive. Just barely. And Shameless, he is holding. He's holding on. The batteries are finishing. We're running out of steam, running out of Zealots. Oh no, the move command. Has to be careful. Has to be careful with the move command. Meanwhile, more cannons are finishing up. Oh, he's supplied. Okay, there we go. Mortal's on the way. Mortal's on the way here. The Immortal can help defend if it stays powered. The pylon's under fire. The pylon. Use the battery. Use it. There we go. The battery saving the pylon just a little bit longer here, but it will still go down. Backup pylon is done. Keep the robo alive. Void's being pulled. Oh my god. And just barely the Immortal has arrived. Does focus on the Zealots. Does focus them down. And with that, Shameless is holding. Shameless is holding on. He still has a better economy as well. Jumy now taking gases for the first time. Shameless breaking out. Takes down the first cannon. The first of many. Yeah, the first of many here. 1, 2, 3 cannons going to be falling. Shameless, he breaks out. And again, Jumy's behind in tech. Jumy is down in workers, is down in tech as well. Jumy setting up a backup proxy. Now Shameless can search for the proxy itself. He's looking. He's looking. And behind this doesn't even have a gateway. True. We see Shameless checking the triangular third location. Now moving towards the linear third. He does find it. Does find the proxy. And we're approaching the Stargate as well. Okay. Everything's gonna get depowered. It's all depowered. There's 0 production buildings back at home for Jumy, by the way. Jumy has 0 units to work with. Here's only probes. Now going for the cyber core. Backup pylon here for Shameless. Sorry, backup pylon for Jumy, I meant to say. Cybercore sniped, a massive tech pickup. Shameless does his count. He does! Oh no, he sees a pylon. Yeah, he does see the pylon, does confirm the target as well. Void Ray is on the way. And one pylon should fall. Can we get both? She was like, why are you scouting? Shameless, I mean, scouting illegal. Yeah, the pylon does fall. GG gets called, and Shameless, who will claim the series 2-1. He will advance on into the next round. GG. Jumy. With a different variation of counter rush, to be fair. And I mean, Jumy, he was gaining ground, right? It was very impressive that Jumy, he let the first pylon finished. He had his gateway on, his cannon on the low ground as well. I will say that Jumy did lose his first probe quite quickly, and he would have benefited from sending an earlier second probe across the map. So that did slow Jumy down, right? That slowed down his cannons, it slowed down his assault. That gave time for Shameless to build up his robo, his immortal production, and that first immortal surviving and coming out of that robo. I mean, that was almost game then. There, right? With the help of the immortal, he could break out from the contain, shut down the proxy, and of course shut down the follow-up proxy as well. GG, well played. With that, Shameless who will claim the series, and with that, we're getting into our next matchup here. It's going to be our fourth best of 3 of the evening. We're going to be jumping into UED Soldier versus Hacker is Tough. Oh boy, speaking of fast games, Hacker's Top is also an animal. He does nothing but place random and nothing but cheese as well. Non-stop all-ins out of Hacker's Top. Let's go. As I should fix up, there we go. The player icon. And we're getting, but shout out to Jumy, by the way, because Jumy, he's provided the only ace match, right? Like, we went all the way to game 3. Jumy had a back and forth, even though it was with cheese and with cannon rushes, but I mean, hey, it's they pulled it up. And here we go, we're getting into our next series, getting into our fresh matchup, and spawning in the bottom hand corner of White Rabbits, we have we have the purple Terran player, the purple Terran himself, representing Hokago T-Team. It is Hacker is Tough. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player, the Protoss player himself, representing Team Little Fairy. It is UED Soldier. So, let us go. As we are getting into our game, we're getting to our first series. Here we are getting on in. From here, we are going to be opening up back at home. The SCV already moves out. Of course it does. Yeah, Hacker's Lobby does move out across the map. Setting up outside, throws down 1 Rax at home and 1 across the map. Okay, so let's go for 2 Rax Reaper. Yeah, 2 Rax Reaper here out of our purple Terran. UD Soldier setting up back at home. And so far everything's looking normal. There's no major sign that there is a proxy. Right now this looks like double gas opener, Rax into factory. So everything looks normal so far. It does look normal here. Reapers are amassing. Back at home, we should be working on a safety battery in the main base, so a pylon gets thrown down to set up that battery. But the Reapers are coming, and it comes down to the early game control. It's down to the control here. It's going to be on UD Soldier to minimize losses. To micro his probes. To allow for the first adept to arrive. Hopefully UD Soldier doesn't shade across the map. Hopefully. Oh, he finds it. Okay, very nice. He does find the Rax. He does find the proxy. We're going for a proxy 2-on-1, actually. Not just proxy Rax, but proxy factory into add-on. Oh my god, we're just doubling down. Yeah, we're doubling down. Zealot does scout the reactor at least. That should be for a reacted Marine to preserve the gas for the tanks. Adept is distracted. Ooh, and he gets, oh my, almost up the ramp. Gas hit, almost. No. Yeah, the Adept does not scout, does not confirm, and UD Soldier has no idea how committed this is. Now, does go for the Stargate back at home. With that, he can go for Oracles and Void Rays. He can help defend with Stargate play, that is true. But is it going to come out in time? As Anti is going to be very limited for Hacker Sub. Adepts, they try to camp the production. They will confirm the Marine production, which is very suspect. Yeah, very suspicious. Hatching out one Adept. One Adept goes down, the other will fall as well. Oh. So he doesn't catch the Reaper. Oh. Nice snipe, nice pickoff. Oh, still losing a Reaper at the same time, though. These Cyclones are on the way. Cyclone is a tank. Hacker Sub does commit. Behind this, what do we have? We have the Oracle on the way. The Oracle, oh, is going to be vulnerable to said Cyclones. Does commit. There's the GgMaChine charge. Oof. Yeah, thankfully, there was no lock-on. Thankfully for UD Soldier. Lock-on spent on the Adept, not on the Oracle. Oracle does survive. More batteries are being thrown down. Oh, this is getting out of hand. Yeah, it's getting out of hand. The battery's out of energy. Yeah, the battery is out. Tank does siege, getting within range of the Otosis pylon. Thankfully, there's a backup pylon behind the batteries at least. But it does depower the gateway. Yeah, depowers the gateway. There's one gateway left. We can warp in one unit at a time. Liberator moves in. We commit. Massive tank shot. Oh my god. Yeah, tank shot's going off. Stalker's going to be going down. Yeah, some brutal connections. And once again, the batteries are out of energy. The boys are being pulled into tank fire, though. Oh my god. It's being pulled in. Nice target fire with the tank. He gets one Stalker. He gets one. He gets two. Yeah, both Stalkers go down. The Oracles, they will defend. We need Cyclones or proxy Viking. Proxy the starport. Vikings are on the way. We need Vikings, we need Cyclones. We need all the anti-air. Again, they are coming. See energy overcharge. Hacker Sub slowly pushing forward. So Jumy running graph. True. Runging King Cobra. Hacker Sub is moving in. Again, getting within range of the batteries. Cyclones are on the way. I still feel like the anti-air is a little bit lacking. Oh no, that's fine. There's plenty of Marines. I was like, are we lacking in the anti-air? Plenty of fire, plenty of Marines. The power of the reacted racks, by the way. Plenty of anti-air. Working towards that second Cyclone. Adepts, do we commit in? Do we dive? Oh, he does! Oh my, he's crazy! Yeah, does dive in. Trades with the Marines. Void Rays, they focused on the tanks. Getting one, getting two tanks. Very nice weak offset with the Void Rays. And the Cyclones, can they hold their own? Can we break down the Void Rays? He gets one. Breaks down one Void Ray. Ooh, gets the other. There's one Void Ray left. One Void Ray remaining. But remember, the longer this game goes on, the better it is. Throughout all this, I mean, the Natural Race is up and running, right? The Natural is up and running. Now we're getting more Void Rays, more Gateways, more Warp-ins. This is becoming worse and worse for Hacker Sub. He's missed his window. He's missed the window. He had to break through. He had to overwhelm then and there. Failed to do so. And UD Soldier, he's doing it. He survives, Pappy. He breaks out of the contain, pushes the army all the way towards the proxies. We're now came to the production, and there's nothing left. We have two Cyclones, we have two Marines. Down to 1, down to 0. 0 Marines. Just now they're trickling out of the production. Slice for the Cyclones, and GG, UD Soldier. He survives the aggression, and he takes game number 1. Ay. GG does take the first game here, does take a lead in the series. Again, things looking very, very shaky, especially early on. Like Hacker's Top, he was gaining ground, he was doing damage. But eventually, of course, the aggression did subside. We saw that he was able to, the Voiders especially, the Oracles were able to hold the line, reset the ground army, reset the tanks specifically, and hold from there. GG well played. And again, as time went on, greater economy, better production. We're loading into game 2. Spawning in the top right hand corner here. Jesus. There we go. Of Tourmaline, we have the Ukrainian random player. The Ukrainian player, he does roll random and he lands on Protoss representing Hokago T-Team. It is Hacker is Tough. And spawning in the bottom hand corner, we have the green Protoss player leading the series 1-0. It is UED Soldier. Let's go. Let us go. For those that are curious, so Hackerstuff, he always does say the race that he lands on. He is a random player, he always says his race. But you may have noticed that he didn't say anything here. That's typically because, and that's the reason why there was a thank you from UD Soldier, is because Hackerstuff is either in the same party or they're whispering. So either he said in party chats or he sent it via a direct message. That's also why UD Soldier sets up on the high ground. And why I said thank you. As you would not go for a high ground setup here against a Zerg or a Terran. But against a Protoss is standard. There we go. From here we have our initial 2 gate openers. And we'll see how we open up. So far, no cheese, no proxies, but we're expecting something chaotic out of Hacker's Top. Now, what I will say is that we have actually seen Hackers. Never mind. I was gonna say we have seen Hacker's Top actually play macro and play mid game, specifically in PvP when he plays Protoss. But not this time, as we are going for the proxy pylon into the proxy initial tech unit, tech building of choice. What's it gonna be? Cybercore is done. Now we're going for just a 3rd gateway, or going for a Twilight Council. It feels a little bit late for a robo. I get scattered. No, he gets scattered. He commits into a very delayed proxy robo, by the way. He does commit. I mean, UD Soldier, he sees, he knows. He's fully aware. He uses that to punish. Catching at the probe. Nice pick off. Does force a cancel. Oh, he denies everything. Oh my god. Everything is denied. Hacker's Top, he does come in with the scouts. Behind this, he has an army where he turns back around, and now he's going to be forced to expand. And rough position here for our purple Protoss player. And now UD Soldier's pushing. He's up in army supply. Has momentum. There's no pylon on the low ground. There's no battery either. Which would typically be on the way if we had chosen to go for the earlier expansion. And UD Soldier goes some extra hits in. Going for the sentry, he gets it. Sentry goes down. Yeah, takes down the sentry. Going for the other. Can he get both? Oh, barely not. But I'll take it with the low ground. Oh, bit of miscontrol there by UD Soldier. Does miss 2 volleys. Yeah, does miss 2 volleys there. Massive miscontrol. With that hacker stop, he is barely trying to hold on. Still barely overwhelmed, actually. But the battery finishes. And the battery does finish. Ooh, nice kill. Sniper warping in units, and UD Soldier turning this into a one-way all-in. UD Soldier, he does not expand, so he shuts down the proxy, goes for his own all-in, and Hacker Stop is unaware. Hacker Stop is unaware, he's going for his own defensive immortal production though. At least trying to. Oh no, he saw. Okay, never mind. He did see with the hallucination. Hacker Stop is aware. And we need to survive. Need to defend. Oh no, he's getting in. Yeah, he's getting into the main base. Does he force through the ramp? It's gonna be close. He gets it. Oh my god, massive force field, and there's no entry for recall. There is no recall. The main base is now exposed. It's locked down. Hacker Stop is trapped. There's still enough energy for another force field. The boys are being pulled. And depowers everything. Depowers everything in the main. Nothing is powered. GG gets called, and UD Soldier will claim the series 2-0. GG. Whew. GG well played. UD Soldier does claim the series 2-0, does advance on into the next round. My condolences to Hacker Stop, as he was not able to get into his own games, not able to get into his own builds. Again, the scouting was on point for UD Soldier. GG. Whew. GG well played. Was able to scout, it was shut down the aggression, and with that, it does advance on to the next round. Does advance on. With that, we are going to be going on a short break. We're going to be going on a short break here. We are halfway through the broadcast. We still have a couple of matches ahead of us, of course. We will get there. But for now, we're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, as you can see here on screen, we will have our first Zerg player, the only Zerg player of the broadcast. Potentially. I know that Eva's playing later on tonight, so we'll see what happens there, whether he plays Protoss or Zerg. But now that we're going to be cutting to a short break, when we come back, GgMaChine versus Moja. We'll see you soon. We'll see you then. See you then. See you then. welcome back, everyone. Welcome. I hope you enjoyed that lovely Brood War OST as we returned. We returned here with the second half of the broadcast. Welcome back to the OSC Elite Rising Star number 19, day 3. We are here, we are back, we have returned with another best of 3. This is our 5th series of the broadcast, our 5th series, and we are jumping straight on into our TVZ. And this morning in the bottom left hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the we have the orange Zerg player. The orange Zerg player himself representing Stanley Bulls. It is GgMaChine. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the German Terran player, the red Terran. It is Moja. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamma time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim this series. Now, coming into this tournament, as we do open up with a low ground wall off here. Interesting. Aggressive start here by Moja. But coming into this tournament, there are 2 players that come to mind when it comes to who are the favorites for the tournament. The top 2 are Shameless. One, we covered him earlier against Jumy in that PvP, and the other is GgMaChine. Shameless and GgMaChine, they are the 2 favorite players. Is the reason why they were the top 2 finalists of the last season of OSC Elite of the Rising Star tournament, and I would say they're favored and slated to be the 2 finalists here as well. In saying that, there are some top players that can threaten them. I'm thinking of players like Con Mono, thinking of players like Jumy, for example, who did force the ace match. There are different players that can bring them down, but again, they are still like the top seeds, I should emphasize. So we'll see if they can be stopped. We'll see if Moja can stand in GgMaChine's way. Let's go. As we go for a Rax expand, a low ground Rax though. Okay, so not 2 Rax Reaper, going Marine first as well. Very interesting. Now, my assumption here that it's going to be Rax expand into factory on the low ground to get a wall off as quickly as possible here, getting into a relatively standard opener, but we'll see where he takes us. The other thing to bear in mind, of course, is that Moja does not SCV scout. There's no SCV scouts, and because of the Marine first, there's no Reaper scout either, as we actually hide the second Rax further back in the main, and because it's so hidden and because it's so far away for any attempted add-on swap, we might even go for like a 3 or 4 Rax 2 base all in. As we even float the Rax? Oh god, okay. This will disrupt, this will delay Marine production, but it will allow for the Overlord to be hunted down, and this means that GgMaChine will not scout. He will not scout, and again, my assumption was for a 2 base all in. Yep, there it is. 3 Raxes on the way. It's going to be a 4 Rax 2 base all in. So 4 Rax 2 base all in. Sorry, my mistake. This is not a 4 Rax 2 base all in, it's a 5 Rax 2 base all in. Jesus, okay. There's 4 Raxes in production, 1 already done, so 5 Raxes. Ay. This is hyper committed, hyper aggressive, and there's a very high chance that Moja pulls the boys. Very, very high chance he just pulls the boys with this as well. Now, the reason why we have so many Raxes here is because, I mean, 1, there's no add-ons. I believe this should be hitting with Stim. I believe we should be able to get a tech lab here at the Rax, but no, we're just going pure Marine. No, okay. No add-ons, no upgrades. Oh, sorry, my apologies. Of course, no gas. In my mind, I was locked into like a 3 Rax setup here, going for Stim. I'm like, okay, we'll go up to 4 Raxes. But now I understand the reason why we can afford a 5th Rax is because we have no gas whatsoever. Okay, we're making 5 Marines at a time. It's gonna be a purely vanilla Marine all in. Vanilla Marines, pappy, no combat shields, no Stim, no nothing. And again, we can pull the boys to buffer. Meanwhile, back at home, GgMaChine is just going for a standard opener, hatch gas pull into his own 3rd base, droning, saturating. GgMaChine, he has 0 vision. Why 0 vision? The Overlord, right? The Overlord was sniped. So that was intentional, of course, for Moja to make this work. GgMaChine needs to fan out his links. There we go, does fan out, and he needs to confirm what the hell's going on. Whether there are Hellions amassing, whether there's drop play on the way, does scouts the Marines, but doesn't get in. He does end with it, that we pull the boys. That's it. This is it. This is his time. The boys are being pulled. All the boys, we leave the mules to mine, and we rally. We rally everything across the map. It's all or nothing here. Bailiness is on the way. If we can make Bailings, we can survive. But again, it's still in production. And GgMaChine, he still doesn't see this coming. He saw the Marines, that's true. He knows it's either a 2-on-1 or 3 Rax. He doesn't know how committed this is until now. Until this moment, he sees. He does see the boys. GgMaChine has to back off. He has to back off. He does bring all the queens together. He may just abandon the natural. Spine Crawler's on the way. Yep, defending the main. Does pull back to the main. Does pull back to the ramp. Bailings is done. Can we behind Bailing? He can. Bailings are on the way. That's the wing condition. That's the wing condition here. Survive until Bailings. Queens, they pull back to the mineral line. And we can pull the boys. Yeah, we can pull the boys here. Ooh, Lings are premature. Yeah, Lings are premature. Lings did fall. Banelings are done. Don't want to waste them. We have a couple of Banelings in here with the SCVs. I mean, these are juicy connections. And now we collapse in. Yeah, now we need to collapse in. Lings are rallying on forward. Queens, they try to hold their own. Clutch transfuse. Queens, they get alive. Decent drone drilling. And GgMaChine holds. GgMaChine, he does hold on. Again, a solid reaction by GgMaChine. Again, just abandoning the natural, pulling back to the main. GG gets called, and GgMaChine takes game number 1. GG. GG, well played. With that, GgMaChine does take the first game here. Again, a very, very mature decision to just abandon the low ground to pull back to the main, right? Again, because he knows it's an all-in, he knows not to fight too early on. I was a little bit concerned he did attack a little bit too prematurely with the Zerglings and did bleed out like 4 or 5 Lings early on. That was concerning, of course, but he still pulled back. He was able to finish off the Banelings, connect with the SCVs, and get a full surround with the help of the drones as well. And with that, we're going to be loading into game number 2. Going to be jumping into Winter Madness. Let's go. Let us go. So we're jumping into game 2 and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Winter Madness. We have the orange Zerg player. The orange Zerg player himself leading the series 1-0, representing Stowny Bulls. It is GgMaChine. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the red Terran player. We have the German Terran down in the series. Show us what you got. It is Moja. Here we go. As Moja moves out with a very early STV for what? For a proxy. We're going for the proxy here. Moves out with 1, moves out with 2, moves out with 3. Proxy 3 racks here by Moja. This is going to be 3 racks of Marine Rush with bunkers, of course, on the low ground as well. So Moja's going for an all-in. He's going for the all-in. GgMaChine, he does go for a standard hatch gas pool opener. The first Overlord is slated to go across the map. The second Overlord should be scouting. And looking at the rally here, we're keeping the second Overlord outside of the natural. Now, this will give GgMaChine precious seconds to react and to respond to the SCVs as they move in to set up the bunkers. To the Marines, to the rush. Now, Moja should be hiding his third SCV. He should be moving with 2, revealing 2, and ideally, Moja wants GgMaChine to pull the boys. He wants him to pull the boys, and with good enough control, Moja can force no reactions, kite back, kill all the workers, and try to overwhelm from there. Again, if GgMaChine sees only 2 SCVs, it is the correct decision to pull the boys to deny the bunkers. But if it's a 3-rack setup, you want to be more conservative with your boys. Like each proxy does typically force different reactions. There we go. Reveals 2 SCVs, as we mentioned. Overlord does confirm. Does swap both SCVs. We're setting up the bunkers. Boys are, so far, not being pulled. There we go. Boys are being pulled. And again, Moja wants these drones to chase. He wants them to chase. He wants them to chase, and then he intercepts with extra Marines. So far, going for the bunker. So far, a tame response here by GgMaChine will force a cancel and pulls back. And now he knows. Yeah, now he sees the third SCV. He pulls back, waits for the Lings. Queen production has begun. Can he surround? Oh, he does. Almost. Barely does get away. 1 Marine goes down. Once again, collapsing on the bunker. The bunker does survive, though. That's a lot of damage being dealt. 3 drones do go down. As 3 drone kills, nice drilling. Yeah, it does drill past. Gets us around. It gets 2 Marines, massive pickoffs, and the bunker does complete. But we get us around. We get us around in the bunker. The bunker will fall. That's going to be 6 drone kills, but the Queens have arrived, and GgMaChine is holding. He is holding behind all this. Spine crawler does complete. And there's no breaking the spine. Not like this. He's holding on. And again, he was able to recognize what was going on. He confirmed and waited, and he saw the third SCV. Throwing down extra spine crawlers. And here come the boys. Yeah, Moja, he does pull the boys here. He sends everything across the map. Overlord did get sniped. Ooh. So there's limited vision, limited scouting. Here come the boys. And with these mine crawlers finishing, I don't see Moja breaking through this. If GgMaChine was droning, then sure. But look at this. GgMaChine, he's on 12 drones. He's not droning. Yeah, he's not droning out. The boys have arrived. Massling is ready for this. They do buffer. They buy time for the spine crawler. The drones are being pulled. And now 3 spine crawlers are done. Yeah, they are done. You can see the target firing as well. Does focus on the Marines. Oh, it's still going to be quite close. 2 spine crawlers full. There's 1 spine left. 1 spine remaining. And we just go to town on the Marines. Yeah, drones, they pull back barely in time here. Lings, they do give chase. That's 18 SCV kills. Moja, he's down to 2. Down to 2 SCVs remaining. At the same time, GgMaChine, he has 9. GgMaChine, he has 9 drones. He has saturation. Likewise, as well as that 1 spine crawler. GgMaChine working on link speed. He can now produce. He can now produce. And GgMaChine, he made it through the worst. Like, he made it through the worst here. Marines do engage. Lings are a little bit late to respond. But they collapse in. Yeah, they collapse in. GG gets called, and GgMaChine will claim the series 2-0, advancing on to the next round. GG. Hey. Did I even open predictions for that series? It was so far. Yeah, it was so fast. But GG will play. GgMaChine, he will claim this series. He will take the 2-0 hyper cheese, hyper aggression out of Moja, which is what he is known for, to be fair. He is known for being hyper aggressive, especially in this matchup. And again, with that, GgMaChine able to react well enough, able to control well, to defend, to survive. GG. Whew. And with that, we're getting into our second last series of the broadcast. We're getting into our sixth best of 3. It is going to be is it a PvP? Yeah, it is. Of course it is. God damn it. This is why earlier I was a little bit tentative. I was like, is GgMaChine going to be our only Zerg player tonight? It's probably, as Eba's playing later, but I believe this is going to be another mirror matchup. Oh boy. We're jumping into our Protoss versus Protoss. Let's go. Here we go. Spawning in the bottom hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the red Protoss player. The red Protoss player himself representing Quasar. It is Art. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the other Protoss player, the yellow Protoss, playing his main race, Pappy, representing the Platinum Heroes from the land of the UK. It is Eva. We're getting into our PvP here, and I'm excited to see some more Art, by the way. Art, he has been a beast as of late, taking down Koreans on a much more regular basis. Art is one of the other strong contenders for this tournament. I mentioned earlier, I'm looking at Shameless, I'm looking at GgMaChine, and I'm looking at Art. Like, these are like the top players I'm looking at to claim an event like this, and we'll see. We'll see what Art brings to the table. Again, for those that maybe missed out on the WarDTV Team League, Art, he was excelling in the Team League, taking down some big Korean names and some big European names as well. It was crazy. As from here, we're going to be opening up. It is going to be a 2-gate opener out of Art. Likewise, 2-gate opener out of Eba. So far, everything's looking as it should. So far, so good. And sorry, I'm confusing Art with someone else in regards to the WarDTV Team League. To scratch that. But he has been achieving some big accolades when it comes to individual events. I want to say he's PvP specifically. Like, we just kept seeing him taking down players like Classic, taking down players like Hero. Let's have a look here. So far, standard openers. Now, we've yet to experience any kind of macro play. Fun fact, we have yet to get into a proper mid-game. We haven't seen a single mid-game so far in this broadcast. Do we finally get there? Do we get there, Pappy? Let's go. Gibbs. Oh. As the pilot is going to be focused down. Oh, looks like there was some latency. Ah. As RT will claim his expansion, so is Eba. And actually both players expanding. Okay, okay. We might get into the mid game. We're building up here. Both players going to their Twilight Councils, working towards Blink. Does threaten the dive. Oh, okay. So yeah, it looks like there was some latency going on, and you just had to make sure it was cleared up. Had to make sure. No big North American names? I mean, Trigger's too good for this, unfortunately. If you're referring to this tournament. But Trigger, of course. Made it to GSL in Season 1. But outside of that, in this tournament, I don't think there's any America's representation, whether it's North America or Latino America, unfortunately. Oh, actually, I think we have an Inexorable, right? Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys don't have to look back yourselves. I think an Inexorable might be playing, which would be some Brazilian representation as the double adept does get into the main. It does get into the main base. So far, 1, 2, 3 probes going to be going down. Oh, this is getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand here. Eva, he pops up. He pops off in the mineral line, catching out 5 probes. Yeah, 6 probes even. Oh my god. Yeah, crazy damage here from Eva, forcing Art's hand. Artie has to commit. Yeah, he has to commit. He has to counterattack. Behind this, Artie does have the higher Stalker count. He can take this fight. Ooh, blinks in. Does go for the dive. He gets 1. He gets 1. He's going to get 2 Stalkers. Brutal Force Fields exert away some of the units here, making it a little bit awkward. And Archie will reset the sentry count. Yeah, catching up with the sentries. Pulls back the weakened Stalkers. Nice control. And Archie overwhelms. Yeah, he looks like he will barely overwhelm. Can he chase? Doesn't quite. Settles with the 3rd. Okay, you can see the control here. His army is so low. Yes, Blink. Oh my god. The control. Oh, we'll lose 1. And 1 Stalker goes down. The other does barely pull away. RT punishes. Yeah, we'll punish the army. GG gets called as Eba, who will lose everything. And RT will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. RT will take a lead in the series. Also, I do apologize as I don't think... There we go. Predictions are open. I do know that there was a little bit distracted talking about the players themselves, but predictions are now open and RT does overwhelm. Again, Eba did an amazing job dealing economic damage, but RT just pushed across the map. He was already getting across the map. RT had the larger army. Eba invested into Adepts to harass. RT invested into Stalkers to push. And with that, RT breaks through the main army, overwhelms, cripples the economy. GG. And with that, we're getting to game number 2. Let's go. Let us go. So we are jumping in and spawning in the top left-hand corner. Top left-hand corner here of Winter Madness. We do have the red Protoss player. The red Protoss player himself representing Quasar, leading the series 1-0. It is Art. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the yellow Protoss player. The yellow Protoss player himself representing the Clan of Heroes from the land of the UK. It is Eba. Let's go. Let us go. Also, I was just double checking. Again, exclamation mark B. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys know how to look at it yourselves. I thought that maybe an Inexorable was in the bracket, but no, Defiance is. So Defiance is the American Terran player. So there is some America's representation, but I think he's the only one. Unfortunately, there is no creature this season, or there's no Inexorable this season either. who often do represent the region in other events. In other OSC Rising events. As from here, we're going to be opening up. And we'll see if Eva can tighten up his early game here. Did see Celeste's earlier. No macro tonight. I mean, based on the builds last game, I thought we were getting there. I was like, oh, you know, we're both expanding. If you remember, both players were taking a third base, by the way. Both Art and Eva, they were both taking a third. I was like, yo, are we going to saturate and calm down? Nah. We did not get there in the end. And we'll have another chance here in game 2. We'll have another chance. But yeah, so far it's been non-stop all-ins. Non-stop all-ins, non-stop aggression. We have not experienced any kind of mid-game play yet. Not yet. And there's a very low chance of it happening as well. I mean, maybe in the next series? We'll see, we'll see. We have 2 PvPs remaining. We have this matchup and we have the Italian PvP of Azura versus Ducklings. Los Italianos back. I miss my Lorimbo. I miss it. Two. Like a small to medium plays. I mean, if you're unfamiliar with the players themselves, like Art, Eba, a lot of the players here that do compete, they often do, they're regulars when it comes to online major tournaments, like the Open Cups, I mean, and they do threaten like the best players in the world. They're not favored, of course, but every now and then, like as I mentioned earlier, like Art, he like took down BabyMarine recently. Like Art has been getting some like beastly wins. Like he took down MaxPax, he took down Cure. Like, Cure is one of the best Terrans in the world. MaxPax, one of the best Pros players in the world. Who else did he bring down? Took a map off of Hero. Took a map off of... Was it Solar? Like, Art has been an animal. Like, it's crazy. Took a map off of Percival. As he does commit it, yeah, he breaks through the Stalker. There's no battery. Oh, nice force shields. It looks at one of the Stalkers, but there's only sentries. Yeah, there's only sentries here. There's no battery, so Eva's being overwhelmed. He's being overwhelmed. He will lose control of the low ground. Gonna be zoned further back. Again, being punished for the heavy sentry opener. Oh, misplaced force field. And Art gets away. Alright, he does pull out. Does pull back. Behind this, Eva is going for a safer build. It's going for the early Robo. Now, early Robo means early Immortal production, so we're going to be able to build up a robust army early on. This does mean that Eva will have less map control, though. Unlike Blink, Immortals are less mobile, of course, so we're going to be stuck at home. Arch, on the flip side, is going into Blink Stalkers. We have a third gateway on the way. Twilight Council into Blink. Arch, he's going to be the aggressor. Eva is going to be the defender. Is going to be the defender. This duel have future players. Yeah, again, if you're unfamiliar with some of the Open Cups, like the other, obviously, like Seamus is the big one. Like Seamus, he beat Bjorn, Hero, and Classic last week. It was last week in the Monday Night Weekly where Seamus brought them all down. Seamus is like 19 years old. He beat all 3 of them in one tournament, which was crazy. It was Seamus. Who's the favorite player for this tournament, as we mentioned previously. But Art, he's doubling down, by the way. How many gateways do we have? We have 3 gates in the main, and we just keep warping in. He's getting a 4th gateway across the map, so it's going to be a 2-base, 4-gate all-in out of Art. He doubles down. Eva's expanding, and Eva has barely an army here. Eva's got 3 Stalkers. He has the Immortal. Again, Eva chose to expand. He's trying to macro Bappy. Eva, he doesn't know. He doesn't know the rule. He doesn't... As we're building up the Immortal counts, Force Wheels, they lock down the first Immortal. The boys are being pulled. They try to engage. The first Immortal should be focused down. Just barely not full, actually. Okay, Eva's holding. He barely holds on. He saves the Immortal. Art, he fails to break through. And Art is forced to expand. I mean, he'll still kill the third. Like, the third base is still under fire. Art is still warping in. Bear that in mind. Ebo, we're going to be careful. We're going to be very careful as he blinks in. He gets one. Yeah, he gets one. He's going to get the other as well. Massive pickoffs. This time, Eba, he's not fighting with his batteries. Duh. Yeah, he tries to save his third base. He gets punished for it. The third will fall alongside the Immortals. And now I'm concerned. Now without the Immortal counts, Art, he might just break through. He's pushing in. Thankfully, there is a backup Immortal arriving. Eba trying to hold on. He's trying to hold on. As Zadi just keeps warping in. Behind this is now taking up, getting his own forge, +1, river production as well. Eba, he will survive on 2 bases, but he's being outscaled. Right? He's being outscaled due to the third. Oh, once again goes to dive. He can 2-shot. Wow, 2-shot to Immortal. Gets 1 and will 3-shot the second Immortal. Once again resets the Immortal count. Does focus fire the Stalkers. The one thing keeping Eba in this game are the Immortals, and they're just keeping reset. Right? They're just keeping reset here. We have 4 gates on the way. Eba being forced into his own 2 base all in. As Eba cannot expand. He can't expand. As we do dive in. Yeah, once again we rotate over. Eba's out of position. He's here at the natural. Diving to the main. It does go for the dive here. Depowers the robo. No more mortal production. Can he get the final Immortal? Oh no! Not quite. Settles to the sentries. Gets 1, 2, 3 sentries. Oof, diving on that Immortal. You can see Eba, he was getting ready for a blink on the low ground, but we just commit further in. I just commits further in. Oh no. Trading with workers, catching up more probes, dives on the Immortal, does finally get the kill. Yeah, it does get the kill. Likewise reinforcing on the low ground. Blinks down, overwhelms. Messy defense here from Eba. Messy pappy. And I just keeps warping in. He just keeps warping in. Eba working towards Glaives and trying to get his Immortal count back up, but once again he's down to 0 Immortals and he's depowered. He's depowered. Alright, he commits. He's committing across map now. He has his mass charge lots. They built a tank. Glaive ups will help, but the numbers just aren't there. The numbers are not there here for Eba. Blinks forward. Batteries out of energy. And now we just focus on the adepts one after the other. They're being focused down. And the Immortal doesn't come into play. Doesn't come into play here. As RT breaks through, GG gets called, and RT will claim the series 2-0. He will claim the series and advance on into the next rounds. GG. GG, well played again. Eba, he was trying to macro back. He was trying to build up into his own 3-base setup in both game 1 and game 2, and both games are punished. Art, he punished the attempted mid-game play out of Eba as we tried to take a 3rd base. Art doubling down with extra gateways, extra army units. Art did eventually take a 3rd, but that was after he had broken the 3rd base of Eba. That was afterwards, of course, where he was able to just take his lead and get further and further ahead. And with that, GG. GG, well played. RT will advance on into the next round, and now we have 1 series remaining here tonight. It's going to be 1 PvP left. So we had so many already. It's going to be a PvP here between Azura and Ledlix. It is going to be an Italian PvP. If you recall, both Azura and... Oh. There we go. Both Azura and Lelix, they're both Italian Protoss players, and we'll see who comes out on top. Now, I'll be honest, I have a really hard time kind of placing a favorite player here. I know that Lelix has been a lot more impressive as of late. He's been getting better results in tournaments, and a lot of people have been taking notice of Lelix as of late. Both players have been around for a long time, of course, for a good amount of years. We'll see how Zuda can hold his own. It's always difficult to predict as well because it's PvP. Like, anything can happen. Like, it's aggression, all-ins are favorite in PvP, so it's always hard to pick a favorite. Let's go. We appreciate both of them. We appreciate both of them. Often competing in our events. And here we go, spawning in the bottom hand corner of Tourmaline. We have the Italian Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Ledlix. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the other Italian Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Bing Bong Exports. It is Azura. Let's go. Let's go. Fourth base. Ah, no. But here we go. Here we go. We're getting into our 7th and final best of 3 of the broadcast. And do we finally build up into a macro game here? Do we get into the mid game specifically? Do we build up into 3 base saturation and 3 base economy? I mean, welcome to Tourmaline. Tourmaline is a very small map. Very small map. Short rush distance by ground. Aggression is favored here on Tourmaline typically, but it's a PvP. Anything can happen. For now, we're just scouting. We're scouting across the map and no big commitment. If you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck. So I don't manage to count to 4 this series. As I mentioned before, we have not gotten up to like the mid game in tonight's broadcast. It hasn't happened. Has not happened. It's been hyper aggression the entire broadcast. You talk about 4 bases. We haven't gotten into like 3 base versus 3 base. Like 3 base economies, like mid game back and forth hasn't happened. Like for example, last game, last series, Art took a third. He had a saturated, that is true, but he began with a 2 base all in and he broke the 3rd base of Eba, so there was no back and forth. Like Eba was like, you know, he was struggling for air the entire game, like after he lost his 3rd. So we don't count that. We don't. I took a 3rd base, yes, but after a successful all-in where he crippled Eba. There we go. For now, we do have a Stargate opener out of Azura. Okay, so we do have a macro start out of our Protoss player. Likewise, both players do pylon block each other, delaying their expansions, and we'll see if, likewise, Lelix also throws down a tech of choice. Looks like he doesn't want to. Okay, so we have a faster Nexus out of Lelix. We do have a Stargate out of Azura. I'll be honest, out of every PvP we've had so far, and we've had a lot of PvP so far tonight, this is looking like the most macro-oriented. Lelix is expanding, and a Stargate is not really built to do critical damage, it's built to harass. Built to harass, going for the Oracle, into the expand. This is designed to give Azura a lead, ideally. And Lelix comes in for the Scout. Yeah, Hallucination goes in, confirms the Stargate, confirms the Oracle as well, and Lelix, she should get in position, either with a battery or with the initial units. There's a very low chance of this Oracle finding damage. For now though, we're shading. Zeb safe in the shade, so far Lelix is keeping up. Does wall up, does wall off. Both players going for their Twilight Councils into Blink Stalkers, safety battery in the main. See Azura attempt to commit. Oh, does shade into the mid, does shade in. We gets 1 probe kill, but for the cost of 2 adepts. Yeah, not quite worth it. Not quite worth it here. Better defense for Lelix. Oracle dives in. A battery will out heal the DPS output here of the Oracle, but the battery isn't done yet. Needs a couple of seconds. Stalkers, they rotate. They keep up. Yeah, they will keep up. The battery's done just in time as well. So the Oracle has done no damage, rotates over towards the natural, Lelix likewise in position as well. It is in position. And with that, Azura is forced out. Now, at least he keeps the Oracle alive, that is true, does keep it alive, can always go back in, can always find some more damage, but for the most part, it has been denied, has been deflected. With that, Lilix does have a slight lead. He's ahead economically. He's up in workers. He had the faster Nexus, of course. Azura fighting for map control. Behind this again, both players are embracing Blink. No additional gateways yet, by the way. And soon we can think about expanding. Speaking of expanding, Azura does set up a station trap to delay the third base of Lelix. Ooh, moves out with a pylon though. Yeah, the probe moves out to set up a proxy pylon across the map. How many gateways? Ooh, okay, with 2 bases all in. God damn. We were so close, by the way. We were so close to embrace the macro game. 2 gateways to get thrown down, 4 gates back at home with potentially a proxy location across the map as well. We're setting up for a heavy aggression here on 2 bases instead of expanding. Meanwhile, Lelix, ooh, nice dodge here, nice avoid of the stasis trap. Stalkers are massing for Azura. Azura, he commits. If you remember, this build is very similar to what Art did. Art versus Ziba, if you recall. Art had 3 gates at home and 1 proxy 4th gateway. Here it's 4 gates back at home with extra warp ins. Azura does get a 3rd though. He did not get a proxy. There it is. There's that proxy pylon. Azura's pushing. And we'll see if Lelix can hold. Looking at the army supplies here, the supplies are close to be fair, but we should be getting that warp in. Lelix, he himself has only 2 gateways, but he does have immortal production. That might be enough. He even hallucinates an immortal as well. Batteries are on the way. And there's a backup pylon. 1 pylon goes down. Azura comes in from behind. A nice reaction by Lelix. He does pull away in time. Avoids the stasis trap. Avoids the trap. And Azura not quite able to break through. He does catch a sentry. Okay, nice pickup. Picks off a sentry, backs off, and we are building up. We're building up into the mid game. Again, as opposed to Art who had gotten a proxy 4th gateway, here it was all back at home. It was all back at home, so slow warp ins, not as committed. Azura did expand as well, so less committed than Art's variation. Less committed. And so far, Lelix is defending well. He's defending well. Ooh, up until this moment, the Adepts shade into the mineral line. 2 Adepts, they get 1-shot probes. They get 1, they get 2. 2 probes go down. Whereas Lelix, he doesn't overreact. He's ready for the main army. He's ready for the army. The Oracle is coming from behind. So far, 3 probe kills. This could have been a lot worse. Could have been worse. But again, with the faster 3rd expansion here, Azura, and with the economic damage as well, Azura, he does take a worker lead. He now takes that economic advantage away from Lelix. He's taking it away. Both players embracing their mid-game compositions, going for a Blink Stalker into Charge Alt into Archons. Again, unironically, for the first time tonight, we're getting into the mid-game. It's happening. It's happening. So Blink Stalker Charger Archon here from Azura. Likewise, Lelix also working towards Mass Immortal into Glaive Adepts instead. Meanwhile, a big shout out to Cian in the chat. God, Cian, obrigado, papi, obrigado. Fala galera. Good to see you, good to see you. For those that don't know, Cian, he is a Brazilian caster, a caster over in Brazil. Does cover a lot of tournaments, of course, a lot of amateur events as well. Whether it was a cast or a ladder session, hope you had a good time. Hope you had a good time. Obrigado. Gracias. Do appreciate it. Geez, that's a lot of gateways. We have 6 gates on the way. That's going to be 10 gateways in total. Again, limited gases, the glaives are amassing, and soon Lelix will commit. He will commit across the map. Now, for those that are curious how these army compositions work, Lelix's composition here does not scale well into a long game. This does fall off at a certain point as we're going Mass Immortal, Mass Adepts. It can work well early on against a more Zealot heavy composition, but as Azura gets a bigger economy, gets a greater army, incorporates more Archons as well, then Azura's composition will just outscale Lelix. Not just that, the size as well also so in favor of Azura as well. Yeah, here we go. So I guess what I'm getting at here is that Lelix is on a timer. He's on a timer. We gotta commit soon. And again, Lelix, he is the first player to engage. He has to. But there's already a heavy Archon count. Again, the backbone of the army are the Immortals. And there's 4 Immortals so far. The Archons will ensure that the Adepts cannot shade in. So we cannot shade on the army. Gotta take it slow. Fourth base under fire. Stalkers, ooh, they come in from behind. A nice time with the Prism. Prism goes down. Massive pickoff. Prism does fall. The fourth base does crumble though. Lelix takes down the fourth. Azura being patient. Being very patient, but he does get supply blocked. Oof. Yeah, brutal supply block for Azura. As Lelix is still reinforcing. It's 5 Immortals. Reinforcements, they meet up. And both players are about to max. Both players are maxing. Doesn't get the prison this time. Just focus on a couple of probes. It's nice. Some economic damage. It's okay. But again, this army is just so beefy. Comes down to the engage. So he does push on the right hand side. Azura out of position. Oof. He's out of position here. Leading out a couple of zealots early on. Now we commit in. Now he does commit the Archons. We have 2-3 Archons that aren't quite engaging. They're stuck behind the army. Better concave here for Lelix. Yeah, better concave. He's getting some of the Archons as well. Focusing them down. He gets 1, 2, 3. He's going to get all 4. And again, these units do nothing in the fight. Oh no. Yeah, miscontrol by Azura. And Lelix is overwhelming. He overwhelms. He breaks through. Takes out all the Archons. Even finally the Archon gets engages. Nice stasis trap, but it's too late. It's too late. Does not matter. Lelix overwhelms. And with that, he's pushing into the army. GG gets caught. Lelix, he will take game number 1. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Again, a very awkward engage there from Azura as he wasn't able to actually incorporate his entire army in that defense. Very, very awkward. That's the downside of Archons. They can be very clunky to work with as they have limited range. And likewise, we have the better concave, we have the more efficient fight out of Lelix. Better concave, better engage. GG, well played. It does claim the first game. And now we're loading into Tokamak. Let's go. Let us go. We're going to be loading into one of the other older maps in the map pool. Once again, to reiterate, OSC, they do feature an extended and expanded map pool where players vote on older maps that they want to incorporate. So that's why earlier in the broadcast, we had Beckett Industries, we had Submarine as well, and now we have Tokamak, which is older, but still quite modern. It's only from, what, like a couple of seasons ago. Here we go. Here we go. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the... It's from last year. It's from the Italian. We have the Italian Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing the Platinum Heroes, leading the series 1-0. It is Lelix. And spawning in the right-hand corner, we have the Blue Protoss player, the Italian Protoss, representing Bing Bong Exports. It is Azura. Let's go. Let us go. As we are going to be opening up, and initially you have Lelix moving out. You have my attention. Okay, scouting. Does move out to scouts. Welcome to Tokamak. Tokamak again is from only a couple of seasons ago here when it comes to our map pools. Tokamak is a very macro map here. It does favor longer and later games. We have a very secure natural 3rd and 4th base. We don't have maps like this too much anymore, where it's very easy to set up on 4 bases and then take a 5th base. We had a lot of late game. We had a lot of late game on Tokamak in the past, but there's a PvP, and the reality is that PvP often does break those kind of norms. Doesn't matter how defensive a map can be, because of the warping mechanic, because of the mobility of the Protoss army, and because of their ability to proxy. My eyes are on this probe. Larger maps can still incorporate a bunch of aggression here in PvP. Hello. As the probe is kept hidden here on the left-hand side. Lelix, he does get his second pylon back at home. Interesting. And Azura, his own second pylon, is going to be across the map, but it is a fake proxy. Okay, so fake proxy pylon out of Azura. What does that mean? Well, both players are scouting, both players are counting pylons, and Lelix, he knows that a pylon is missing. He's like, something is wrong, something is amiss, and Azura wants Lelix to overreact, because this proxy position is not in position for a 1-base all-in. There's no proxy Robo, no proxy Gateway. The most that we can expect here is a proxy Stargate. That's the most we can expect out of Azura. Either Stargate or nothing. And, oh, Twilight Council. Okay, there was an option C. So no Robo, sorry, I guess option D. No Robo, no Stargate, no Gateway. It is proxy Twilight Council. This usually means DTs, right? This usually means we're going to be hiding the Dark Shrine, which is why the probe is in position. This is quite rare in this matchup, and I would say this is risky. So, running it back here, because of the proxy, there was actually a very high chance, because the pylon is missing, that Lelix goes for a Robo opener. If he went for a Robo, and he still might, by the way, okay, third Gateway, then that would be just detection then and there. For now, he expands. Very greedy response at Lelix. Very, very greedy. There's that Dark Shrine for DTs. And so far, Lelix has 0 detection. If he doesn't get a Robo soon, he may just die. He may just die. Lelix is scouting with hallucination, confirming that the base is delayed and that there is a Robo back at home at least. Ah, there it is. Defensive Robo. Okay, defensive Robo is on the way, so this is a way to ensure that Lelix just doesn't straight up die. If he was greedy, and if he didn't go for the Robo, if he was setting up for a Twilight Council into Blink, for example, then, again, like we have seen players like MaxPack insta-GG, players like Hero insta-GG, like even the best pros players in the world have just insta-died to a build like this. It happens. Happens to the best of them. But again, he has the Robo. Has the Robo. We should be seeing an Observer soon. Adept safe threat in the shade. Oh. And they will get in. Okay, not bad. To Adept taking one-shot probes. This should not have happened. Yeah, miscontrol by Lelix to allow for the shade to get in. So far getting 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 5. Oh my god. It does misclick towards the end there. 4 probe kills. Still not bad. Hallucination goes in, should be looking suspicious. Immortal on the way, not the Observer. Sorry, there's already an Observer. There's already an Observer. DT's revealed. Observer is here. And DTs, they do no economic damage. There's 0 economic damage here. This is a big commitment here from Azura, and so far it's not been worth it. And due to the Twilight Council and the Dark Shrine, that also means that we're delayed when it comes to an Immortal production or Blink or any kind of tech. This is a rough start for Azura. It is a rough start. Once again, zoning Azura back. Oh no, the Prism! Jesus. Calm down, baby, calm down. Prism does pull away, we're going to charge. A little bit of desperation here, but we're rushing to charge into Immortals. This is looking like a 2-base all-in, but it makes sense considering the game state that we're in. I'm expecting extra gateways, but we'll see. We'll see. Likewise, Lelix, do we go into Glaives? He's getting a Forge. Typically, that doesn't coincide with Glaive Adepts, but we'll see if he goes into charge instead. Blink, okay. Going to Blink Stalkers. Lelix building up into the mid-game. And do you see what I see? More gateways. Yeah, 2-base all in. 2-base all in. We're getting up to 6 gateways back at home. That's a lot of gates. So 2-base, 6-gate setup. Again, Azura knows that he's behind after the initial tech and the investments and the opener. So we just gotta go. So far the Prisms they fight each other. Lelix does recall in time. Does recall back home. Lelix, he throws out his own 3 extra gateways, so he chooses not to expand or to delay his expansion. Fixating on his production. There's a later third. And soon it's going to be go time for Azura. Now it's going to be awkward here because Azura actually went for a forge, so +1 is still not even halfway done. What I'm getting at here is that we want to wait for +1. We want to wait for the upgrade, but it's still a ways away. Does expand, does get a later third. Hallucination will confirm. Lelix, he can now compare the third base with his own. He knows that his is faster. Moving out for harass, double adept. Oh, once again, nice rotation. So that zones away. Lelix is pushing. He'll be applying some pressure here. He does have the more mobile composition, as he has all these big stalkers. Oh! And he does catch some zealots. Gets one. Takes off a zealot. Does poke further in. More Archons, more Dark Templar. I mean, we do have a pretty hefty immortal count. That's 4 immortals. It's not going to be easy to break. Not easy. So Lelix just going for the tech. Catching the Dark Shrine, the Twilight Council, and the Pylon. Azura, he pushes across the map. He commits. Lelix is also racing back home. He's racing back. The Observer has spotted the move out, has been following. Oh, we're coming in for the flank. Can he get the Prism? Oh, he blinks. He blinks in. And he doesn't deny the warp in. He will side the Prism, but no, he doesn't deny the warp in. Zealots commits. We have to pull back. And so far, nice kiting. Nice kiting here, picking up more Zealots. Lelix, he pulls away. We'll lose the Immortal. But now there are no reinforcements. Yeah, no reinforcements, not for Azura. Immortal goes down, he gets 1, he gets 2. Yeah, 2 Immortals fall. Stalkers, they collapse in from behind, and everything's gonna go down. Yeah, it picks up every Immortal, every Archon as well. There's just no buffer, there's no support. We need Zealots, we need some kind of army here, and there's just nothing. As the Archons, they get focused on one after the other. Expensive losses here for Azura. Expensive losses. Zealots, now they arrive after the fight. And the Prism finally moves in. Still no damage from the War Prism. But she claims the fight. That was how many? That was 5 Archons and 4 Immortals going down. Heavy losses there for Azura. Hefty losses. And now he's down to purely Zealots. Going for the counter attack. I believe recall is available. Yes, recall is available if need be. Lelix is moving in. So is Azura. Let's break forward. Azura does hit the mineral line. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Yeah, probes are going down, but at the same time, Lelix just commits. He's going to win the main fight and break into the third. 7 probes going to be going down and getting up to 9 probe kills. Up to 9. And again, that's nice damage, but the problem here is that there's no main army to defend. Oof. Prism goes down, the final Soldier as well. Adepts distracting the mineral line. And back at home, Lelix has reinforcements. He has defensive warp ins. If he so chooses. Yeah, there are warp ins back at home. Lelix will hold. Both players will lose their bases, but Lelix has that more efficient army. And he just kite well against these Zealots. Triggering the shields. Yeah, it's dealt with the Zealot run by. There are more Zealots moving out, by the way. Trying to cross across the map. Oof. A little bit ambitious there from Lelix. Yeah, moving a little bit too far. Got to be careful. Zealots take it across the map. Lelix, he just warped in. He just warped in. Yeah, there's the recall. There's the recall back home. Azura's buying time. He's getting up to a third immortal. True. Getting up to 3. Again, there's not many zealots. Down to 3. Down to 2. Down to 1. Yeah, no zealots left. Oh my god, warping in a bunch of Archons instead. Okay. I mean, that's a way to hold. He needs time, though. No. Yeah, they're going to be targeted. Getting one already. Gets one. Catching the immortal. Yeah, gets one. Gets 2 immortals. 1 immortal left. Warpins, they continue. And again, Azura just kind of hold on here. Not like this. The lack of economy from Lelix is giving Azura a chance. But he just can't win these fights. Then we just go for the dive. We go for the dive. Just focus on the immortals, one after the other. 0 immortals left. Only chargeless and Archons. Oh, the juggling though. The control. Oh. Say that still bleeds out a couple of Stalkers. A couple of Stalkers still go down. But in the end, Lelix, he has too much. Azura's been trying to hold off for the past 5 minutes. And it's been impressive. Like, he's held for 5 minutes. Impressive. But again, there are just so many Stalkers. Nice blink control, right? Lelix blinking back, preserving his army. So much of it is deep in the red. GG gets called, and Lelix will claim the series 2-0, advancing on into the next round. GG. Whew. And GG, well played, congratulations. Lelix will claim the series. He will advance on. My condolences to Azura, as I believe that is going to be Azura being eliminated from the tournament. I believe that was a lower bracket match. But GG, well played. With that, congratulations, as we do have results coming in. Let's go. Let's catch up in the bracket. Let's figure out where we are and where we are headed. Un momento. There we go. Bam. Okay, so exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at it yourselves. From the top here, we just covered Shameless versus Jumy, if you recall earlier. Shameless did take down Jumy 2-1. Shameless is now in the upper bracket semifinals, where Shameless is going to be going up against UD Soldier. So the PvPs continue. We're going to have Shameless versus UD Soldier in the upper bracket semis. Scrolling down, we had GgMaChine. He took down Moja. GgMaChine also does advance on to the upper bracket semis. He's waiting for the winner of Honmono and Art. If you remember, Art took down Rebellion, Honmono took down BabyMarine. So we have Honmono versus Art coming up next week in that lower bracket quarterfinals match into GgMaChine. So far, I would say that these are the expected results, with Shameless, UD Soldier, and GgMaChine advancing on. Who is favored against Honmono and Art? Honestly, Honmono has some killer TVP, and he has a good chance against Art. Like, I feel like in a macro game, Art is favored, but that's not going to be a macro game. we know that, but we know that. Meanwhile, we have the lower bracket. You actually can't see those matches, but for example, Azura versus Lelix was in the lower brackets, and of course, Lelix did eliminate Azura from the tournament. Likewise, we had Art versus Eva as well, where likewise we also had Art eliminating Eva from the tournament. So Art advances on, so does Lelix. Azura and Eva are now out of the tournament. Again, unfortunately, the Wikipedia page doesn't quite show that. Hold on, un momento. I guess we can show off the challenge brackets. It's a huge bracket though. It's huge. I'll do my best. I don't know if I can show it all here. Let's see. Bam. So this is challenge brackets, and bam, there we go. You can see there the lower bracket just down here, where we have a plethora of players. We have MinoVK, F2 Click, Art, Eba. We just wrapped up that series, if you recall, where Art did eliminate Eba. We have Hatsu versus Sebestus. We have Lelix taking down Azura. It's going to be Lelix versus Hydra in another PvP, and we have Minizorg UA versus Milky Cow. Ooh, that is a spicy ZBT down there. Definitely looking forward to that. And then we have Fiant versus Defiant. So again, plenty of games remaining here. This is why this tournament usually lasts around like 3 months. Like around 3-ish months is expected, just because every game is casted. On the one hand, we're almost kind of reaching the upper echelons of the upper bracket, right? Like we're almost there. We're already in the upper semifinals. That is true, but there are still so many games to be played here in the lower brackets. So many games, so many matches, and again, everything is casted on a weekly basis. It is all casters, so still plenty of matches to go, plenty of StarCraft to come on the horizon for the OSC Elite Rising Star. Otherwise, we're going to be wrapping up here for the morning. Again, when it comes to our scheduled broadcast here, bam, you can it's so full, man. It's so full. Oh my god, if you missed it, we were live casting GSL last night. It was amazing, it was beautiful. If you missed it, I do recommend the VODs over on Soup, but we were live last night with GSL. I will say that this schedule is not completely accurate. So first things first, originally we were slated to cast What Is TV Monday later on this evening, as our schedule's booked up to cast a day every day. We were going to be casting the What Is TV Monday this evening, but I'll be honest, last night's GSL cast was like 6 to 7 hours. It was intense and I'm giga tired. So we have decided to reschedule the What Is TV Monday event, the cast I should say. So we're not going to be covering it tonight. We'll be pushing it back to a later date. The issue is that just like, especially May is just so jam-packed with GSL and RSL. You can see here GSL's all over the place. This is GSL Season 2. GSL Season 2 does begin this week on Wednesday, and we have RSL over the weekend. Because of that, it's just a very, very, very stuffed broadcast and stuffed schedule. To the point where, like for example, Tunic Up is usually on Sundays, and if it's not on Sunday, it's on Tuesday. But this week it's going to be on Friday. We're gonna have a Friday Tunic Up. We didn't even have Tunic Up last week because again the schedule was just so full of everything. So we got to make room. We're gonna try to squeeze it in here. So we have Tunic Up on Friday. We have COVID Giants Cup Friday morning. We have GSL on Wednesday and Thursday. The Thursday morning GSL cast, that is the finals rebroadcast. As I mentioned previously, when it comes to our GSL coverage, we live cast on Soup, and we cannot show that VOD on other platforms until 48 hours later. So that is why you can see the GSL Saturday and Sunday cast. That is the rebroadcast of the Wednesday and Thursday coverage. So it's going to be live cast on Soup on Wednesday and Thursday, and then we have the rebroadcasted VODs on YouTube and on Twitch on Saturday and Sunday. That's why it's like doubled up. We have our live cast, then we have the rebroadcast later on. Likewise, we have the Pondcast, we have Kung Fu Cup, Kofa Giants Cup, RSL, STC, plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft. And again, originally we were going to be covering What Is TV Monday tonight, but again, I'm very fatigued after yesterday's cast. Like my voice, my throat is like very strained, very, very strained from last night from GSL. So ideally, I don't want to speak. I want to calm down, get some rest, get some food, and not speak for a day. Beautiful. Until tomorrow for Kung Fu Cup and Podcast and Pegasus Cup and everything else. So that's our schedule. That's our schedule. And again, just to reiterate, we won't be casting What Is TV Monday tonight. We'll reschedule for another day. Reschedule for like another week, I should say. So we just watched what, 6 series of animals? 7 best of 3s. We just caught 7 series back. Crazy. Take care. Thank you, Lake Colonel. Thank you. Yes. I will try to take care of myself tonight. We'll take care. No casting. I might be tempted to do a stream. Might be tempted to like ladder stream or something, or like a Final Fantasy stream. But outside of that, we'll take care of ourselves. Take care. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. And again, outside of tonight, we do have a very packed broadcast schedule for the rest of the week with GSL, RSL, Pondcast, KFC, STC, Kofa Giants Cup, and Pegasus Cup as well. So plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft. If you enjoyed the broadcast, check us out over on YouTube. If you see something that you like here, and if you can't watch it live, YouTube is the place to be. Likewise, if you want to support us monetarily and support our tournaments, you can do so via Patreon. Our Patreon does fund our tournaments on a regular basis. What are our tournaments? We have 2 monthly tournaments, such as Master Swan Open and Sea Duckling Open. They're monthly tournaments, and we have our regular weekly tournament, Sparkling Tunic Cup, which you can see here is this Friday. Usually it's on the weekend, but because of the RSL playoffs, we don't have any room for Tunic Cup over the weekend, so we pushed it to Friday instead. We did accommodate, we did reschedule Friday. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. We do appreciate it, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for some Kung Fu Cup and for the podcast as well. See you next time. Until then, ciao, bye, ciao, hasta luego.